So you just saw the protest taking place. You just saw the governor. This is a continuing issue that needs to be resolved. And what the protesters want is a reform of the police force in Nigeria. Now, what are the solutions? Can technology be a solution? Can technology solve what we need as far as reforming the police force? Joining me now is Fola Olatunji-David, who is the general manager of Lotto at SV Gaming. Fola, of course, is well-versed as far as the tech sector in Nigeria is concerned. He's spoken and advised many technology venture capital startups in the country. He's worked with a number of firms across the tech landscape in Nigeria, and he's going to be joining us to talk about how, if possible, technology can be seen as a solution to reforming the police. Perhaps should police in Nigeria be wearing body cameras, as they've proposed over in other climes, where interactions between police and citizens can be recorded? How practical is that? Can that be taken over to a database and then reviewed on a daily basis? We've got apps that connect people with ride-hailing apps that connect riders with drivers, apps that on e-commerce apps that connect buyers and sellers. Can there be apps that track the interactions between police and citizens? So we're going to have a word now with Fola Olatunji-David. Fola, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on the Global Business Report. What do you think? Kick it off with as far as what tech can do to try to reform police. Is there any practical solution here? Starting with body cams, for instance, is that possible?
Hi, good morning. I definitely think technology can reform the Nigerian police. What I will say is we have to first start from the grassroots and start from the very base of what the problems are. First of all, it's people problems. So when we think about technology, is always an enabler. Technology doesn't add a magic level to it. It just enables what you have existing. So we see, you spoke about body cam. Body cam still has the human element of having to turn it on, or that ability to say, okay, can we charge this thing? Will we wear it? Will we carry it along with us? So if you don't fix the human element part of that, all the technology in the world is just going to be like applying makeup on a pig. But what I will say is that if we are serious about reforming the police, there are steps that need to be taken, steps that need to be holistic, and I'm happy to share some of the ideas that I have in that regard as we go on.
Go right ahead, please. Go right ahead.
Okay, so first of all, let's start with knowing who the agents of the police are. I was reading yesterday on social media, somebody in the government was saying that it's possible for state police commands to not actually know that there is a SARS operation. And I know that the announcement has been made that SARS has been disbanded. But the truth is, SARS was just a metaphor for everything that was wrong with the Nigerian police force. So not knowing who's in your state, who's operating in your state, being arrested in Ibadan and carried all the way to Abuja or Lagos or whatnot, that is a problem. Being able to track people, being able to even know the identities of the police officers. How many times have we gone on social media and just seen a picture and people start saying, oh, I remember seeing this guy, but nobody knows the name of the people that are policing us. I think we need to first go back and ask ourselves, what exactly are the police supposed to be doing for us, and who are the police people? So the first step is identity management. We clamor for identity management as regular citizens. The police, let's also know who they are. We've asked several times to know the name tags, but we've seen cases of people switching name tags. I personally have seen a police officer that the 2 times I saw him, he was wearing different name tags. But how do we actually tag officers and bring their identities? Also, how do we track police reports? How do we make sure that once you enter a police station today, the moment you walk in, you can walk in for a crime of maybe abusing a police officer and walk out, or rather be slapped with a murder charge. And we've seen that over the past few days in protests. We've seen people who were arrested for protesting. We've seen the police charge them with attempted murder, disturbing the peace, vandalism, and these people were holding placards, literally holding placards. So how do we make sure that process of writing police reports, how do we make sure it's transparent and it's searchable? How do we make sure that there are public records accessible to the public? How do we make sure that we digitalize the way information is carried through? When the IG of police disbanded SARS, how did the people on the street still get arrested by SARS on Sunday? As still last night, yesterday, Monday, people were still getting arrested by SARS in Port Harcourt. People were getting arrested by SARS in Lagos. In parts of Ajah, people were still getting harassed by SARS. So those are basic fundamental things that I think technology can add. I'm not even going into drones and security cameras everywhere, or infiltration of people's data, or understanding people's habits. That's even going too far. Let's talk about the very basic thing: data management, identity management, geo-tracking, being able to say, okay, this is a police unit. The vehicles that this guy, they drive, the police people drive around in regular vans, in regular cars. We don't know that they're police until they jump out. And more times they look like armed robbers more than even actual police. How do you make sure that we tag them? And at any single time, a police commander can say, okay, I know where my boys are. I know where the officers are. This vehicle is here on the map. You know how you request a taxi and Uber? How do you say the same thing? Like, okay, I know where a certain police van is. So those are simple, practical solutions that can be implemented tomorrow.
All right, thank you for that, David. Fola Olatunji-David. We got 60 seconds to go. What do you think about the capacity of the Nigerian government to implement these suggestions that you put through?
Truthfully, the past few days have been very. It's from a personal standpoint, it's been a letdown. I would say that we've seen reports of state governments. State governors saying that they can't really understand what is going on in their states. I mean, in a lot of words. We've seen the police IG announce something and the people do something differently. We've actually seen the president send the police and we've seen the president send comments and instructions to the police, and they've not carried it out. So if you ask me, how do I feel about the government's capacity to reform the police? I would say until heads start to roll, nobody is serious yet. That's what I would say personally. But the politically correct answer, which I'm not giving, is that we need to first start with understanding who the people in police are and training them. And this is something technology can also do. Let's bring everybody back to base and let's start that orientation afresh. What exactly does it mean to be a police officer? And how can we cater to the welfare? And I know this is not an excuse, but how do we cater to the welfare of the officers that we're giving guns to? We're essentially putting poorly treated killing machines on the road. So can the police handle this? Yes, I think they can if they're serious.
Great stuff, great stuff. Fola Olatunji-David, thank you so much for joining us.